A lot of people are going through the most recent dump of pictures and videos and are noticing some rather strange things. We're going to get into that in this video. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We have also Kurt Russell and something he recently said. We'll get into that. And also some clip that shows on one of the movies he was in, something rather intriguing. We're going to get into also some things that maybe are not exactly what they seem. Where they're presenting these video footage, these files, and some are actually showing how they could be fake. Okay? We're talking about the ones from the GOV. It's pretty nuts. We'll get into that. We also have this document that came out talking about potentially aliens, among us, literally living among us, and we didn't even know it, and are using a certain website to track them down. We'll get into that. And we got a ton of other stuff, just weird clips from the past few days. And we have an update on the guy with the mask as well. By the way, it's sort of a plot twist. We'll get into that as well. Let's just get going here and start with Kurt Russell in the movie Stargate. Character enters a vault containing fossilized alien bodies that look like Egyptian gods. Considering Hollywood movies are deemed as part of, programming, I wonder how long it will take for something like this to happen. Actually, this makes perfect sense if you understand the correct, well, at least my viewpoint of what's really going on around us. I think that the Egyptian gods were the divine council around the throne of God. You could see they literally have animal heads, just like the beings around the throne of God. A bird's head, a lion's head, all these different types of animals. Looks like a human with an animal's head. That's literally in the scriptures. You can see it in Revelation. I think that is what they were. They were fallen angels that were from the divine council, so they would have been high level, meaning they're small g gods, if you want to use that term, because that's actually what the scriptures use. By the way, it uses the word Elohim, referring to these angels as small g gods. Now let's just play this clip really quick. Check this out. You can see it there. That's what it looks like. It looks like a dragon too, which is really interesting. Oh, that's probably the one with the dog head or whatever, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you look at the Egyptian gods and compare them to how Scripture describes the divine council surrounding the throne of God, they literally sound the exact same as how they look. And I've pointed that out in the past. Of course, considering the whole topic of aliens, I think these aliens are actually probably Nephilim, offspring of fallen angels and humans. That's why they're called hybrids. You got these Nordics, which, by the way, they're saying the Nordics are the ones living among us. I'll get into that in a little while. You have here Kurt Russell talking about what he saw, the legendary Phoenix Lights UFO event. He apparently saw it up close in a candid interview. Hollywood icon and experienced pilot Kurt Russell shares his firsthand encounter with the massive 1997 Phoenix Lights. I declared it's unidentified. It's flying its 6 objects. He described spotting 6 lights in absolute uniform in a V shape right over the airport and immediately radioed air traffic control, who replied, "We're not painting anything. We don't show anything." Then the whole thing completely vanished from his memory for 2 years until a TV documentary suddenly brought it rushing back. That was the most viewed UFO event. Over 20,000 people saw it. He never logged the sighting and only realized that that was me when he heard the pilot report on air. So apparently it was his report. It was Kurt Russell reporting the Phoenix Lights. That's really bizarre. I didn't even know that. I remember this picture. March 13th, 1997, back in the old days. Looking into that stuff. Listening to some late night radio or something. Right?
We're flying in. I was flying him to go see his girlfriend. And we were on approach. And I saw 6 lights over the airport in absolute uniform in a V shape. And Oliver said to me, I was just looking at him, and I was coming in. We're maybe a half a mile out, and Oliver said, "Pa, what are those lights?" And I then it kind of like came out of my reverie, and I said, "I don't know what they are." I said, he said, "Are we okay here?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna call him," and I reported it. And they said, "We're not painting anything. We don't show anything." I said, "Well, okay, I'm going to declare it's unidentified, it's flying, and it's 6 objects." Mm-hmm. We landed. I taxied, dropped him off, took off, went back to L.A. Never said a word. He never said a word.
Huh, that's crazy, man. He's got Chris Pratt right next to him. I was thinking of like George Norrie or something like Late Night. You know what I mean? Back in the old days. And, man, it's been a long time. I remember listening to him so many years ago on the radio. Back at nighttime, late night radio, coast to coast. Man, they would talk about stuff like that back then in the old days. Of course, they have all these, like I said, UFO file dump number 2 from the GOV. And people are noticing some strange things about them. And we're going to get into them in a second here, okay? We got some crazy clips to show you. And we got some really weird things people are saying. All right. Before we get into that, we're going to get into a number of other things as well. As I mentioned with the Nordics apparently living among us and other things. First, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. $6.97 for 3 months worth. You're going to definitely want to get that if you've not already. Never know what might be next, considering all the insanity going on around us. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity. How to build a cellar, do things around the house as they did in the old days. Hundreds of pages illustrated. You're going to definitely need that before the power goes out for an extended period of time. You're going to be able to buy it at Walmart after the fact. You want to get the printed version, $37. Also, we have an investment opportunity in NOAA VR. $400 to get a seat with the other shareholders. 33% of NOAA VR profits are set aside for all those that get involved. We literally are building from the ground up. We built the engine. We're building a trailer right now of actual gameplay. I'm going to show you guys probably in a week or two. I have another trailer I made that's really awesome as well. We're literally building, the engine we built for this is better than Unreal Engine. It's better than all these engines currently on the market. It literally can do more than they can. We're going to have our doors being knocked on after this thing is out. Okay. This engine's insane. Okay. That we created. And it's actually something they're going to want to build in the future. A lot of these big companies, but they can't do it because they have contracts and stuff. At any rate, you're going to definitely want to get involved. Link is in the description for that investment opportunity. Let's get back to the video. So we have here, I noticed this is kind of interesting. So here's a side-by-side comparison between the 2015 UFO sighting recorded in Sequoia National Park and the one of the videos released today, identified as UAP PRO 59, whatever that means. As you can see here, let's just pull this up. And there's something that someone pointed out, rather curious. I'm going to show you in a second here. So you can see it looks like a guy or something just turning around, right? You see that? Now let me show you this. This is rather intriguing. It looks a lot like this stormtrooper balloon or something. Look, it even has the armband thing right there. It's got the similar head. It literally looks like the stormtrooper balloon. Is our government putting out garbage UFO files? Like, what the hell is this? You see what I mean? It's like a inflatable stormtrooper. Is it? I mean, it's all blurry, right? This is so pathetic. It literally is pathetic. Now that we've confirmed actual real humanoid aliens, it's time to everybody abandon their faith. You don't need to abandon your faith even if there are real humanoid aliens, because obviously they're just hybrids or Nephilim. Which, by the way, we pointed out in the previous video. They interviewed some Brazilian tribe, sort of like a American Indian sort of tribe, South American Indian. And they had no idea what aliens or UFOs were, or space, whatever. They showed them a picture of a gray, and they knew exactly what it was. And they said they live underground. They live underground. Okay. These things have been here forever. They're not from another planet. They're Nephilim. They're basically hybrids. That's what they are. Here is actually some... So why didn't the GOV put out something like this where you can actually tell it's clearly not an inflatable toy, right? Look at these. These clearly are very bizarre. I've seen numerous videos like this of just strange shaped things that modify themselves as they're flying around. You're like, what the hell is this, right? Looks like a transformer or something. Instead, they put out this thing here, a super blurry, whatever that is, dude. Okay, dude. It literally could be an inflatable. I mean, it's so blurry, you can't even tell what it is. Of course, they put this out as well. I covered this over on my other channel. Someone was like, these look like boats. That's probably because they are boats. That's not obviously that's not what's being seen in the video footage. There's actually some other things that go across the screen. There's actually two other things. They go across the screen here. There's one right there, as you can see. And one right here. There's another one at the end, too, that goes across here. Let's see. You'll see it again. There's that one. Whatever that is. And there's the other one. Did you see it? So there's two objects. Very strange. Obviously, these are ships. They're probably watching these ships. Maybe these are some of these people bringing drugs in or something, right? And then they saw these UFOs surrounding them. I'm guessing that's what that is. Speaking of aliens, you have here this. Check this out. This is kind of crazy. This is in our ocean. Look at that. The hell is that? It's a starfish, apparently, of some sort. This is what they're saying. Some sort of starfish. That's crazy looking, dude. There's a lot of weird ass things in the ocean, man. I think these aliens don't even look as scary as some of these fish do, man. Look at that thing, dude. What the hell? Apparently it's a basket starfish. Yeah. So, good stuff, right? You got here the CI, of course, says searching for aliens amongst us using Ancestry.com and 23andMe. What is this, Men in Black? I was told by somebody in the program with direct experience of the program. They have backdoors to Ancestry and 23andMe and similar genetic analysis companies. Kit Green and certain division of the CIA, of course, they use the backdoors they have to these programs to scan databases of genetic material for a specific deviation from normal that they know to be a genetic marker of the Nordics. They know that a significant number of Nordics have escaped the civilization they were living in and migrated to the United States. These Nordics are settling in certain parts of the country, particularly Colorado Rockies. In some cases, they're indistinguishable from tall, good-looking Nordic people. So they marry Americans. They have hybrid, apparently, offspring with them. And a lot of these children and grandchildren have no idea what the real ancestry is. So they go and get these tests done. You get the idea. They go and have tests done, check it all out. And, of course, the Nordics are like usually 7-8 foot tall. Very tall. But there are, I mean, honestly, if you go to Norway or maybe Sweden, some of those guys are really freaking tall, dude. They are very tall. 6 foot something easy. A lot of those guys. I don't know. Maybe there's some that are 7 foot. I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised. But you get the idea. So here you have the same article about this. Alien DNA found inside humans. It was inserted into our genes. Bonkers new study claims. So they apparently found some genetic markers, just in case the idea of aliens walking all around in human suits wasn't frightening enough. An outlandish study asserts that aliens might have abducted us, inserted genes into human DNA, with the fallout affecting potentially millions of people. Humanity may be undergoing genetic transformation. So this makes perfect sense. It says, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man comes back. And in Genesis 6, we had them creating hybrids or Nephilim, giants. Not all of them are giants, though. Some are actually short, according to the Book of Jubilees, which we see are these beings that have been in hiding pretending to be aliens from another planet, but in reality, they're just merely hybrids. That's why they have 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, just like you and I. It's because they are actually part human. And of course, they are going to try to change us so that we are also Nephilim. They don't want you and I to be actually human because then you could get saved. Technically, though, I think even Nephilim can be theoretically, in some cases, saved. Because you have stories like Merlin the Magician, who was apparently a Nephilim, that became Christian. There's also other stories in the medieval times of people that were not fully human that became human and became Christian and stuff like that. So it is theoretically possible. But I think there is some sort of thing to that, where if you're a Nephilim, generally speaking, you're screwed. You're not actually human anymore in some cases. Infiltration over invasion. JFK was talking about them the whole time. You got this guy here. He's got this weird eye. Look at that, dude. The heck is going on there? I don't know, man. You got a bunch of these weird videos. I showed this the other day too. His throat going out weird and stuff. Did I show this on this channel? I don't think I did. No, I didn't show it. Check this out. Let me play this. So watch his throat.
We know from the COVID vaccine.
Look at that. What is going on with his throat? This is the guy, obviously, is head of one of these companies. His name is Albert. Looks kind of strange if you ask me. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe this? Does it look better now? Remember that scene from Men in Black? And, of course, interestingly, we also have an update on this guy with the alleged mask on. Apparently, he was supposed to go on a show and prove that it's not a mask. He was supposed to go live yesterday on a show saying, hey, I don't know why these people are saying I had a mask on. I'll show up on your show and prove I don't have a mask on, right? This is what he said. Apparently, he didn't show up. He decided to cancel. The mask conspiracy gets bigger. Admiral Robert Howard, however you say his name, canceled his appearance to debunk the viral video mask claims. He told Grant Stinchfield directly that the mask video makes absolutely no sense and agreed to come on live and prove it. Then he canceled. The man who was most confident it was fake never showed up to say so on record. So apparently, it kind of reminds me of the whole Jim Carrey thing. You remember that whole Jim Carrey one? Everyone was saying, that's a mask. That's not Jim Carrey. Yes, indeed. Apparently, we got more of that going on, and maybe he's one of these guys. Yeah. Hybrid? I don't know if he's a hybrid. Maybe it's just... Maybe there's some guy sitting in for him, or a body double, or whatever. I have no idea why it would be the case, but maybe that's what it is. Right? At any rate, that's my video. Kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.